Deniers have always imagined they can frighten or wear down believers in various ways. The most intensive assaults were directed against the messengers. But because the messengers have known that all power belongs to God, they have never been intimidated by or fallen into despair because of these assaults from deniers. The more our prophet told his people about the religion of God, the greater was the violence of the assaults from leading members of the tribe. The leaders among his people saw that under the leadership of the messenger of God, the moral values of the religion were spreading rapidly, and that the mockery, defamation, slander, and similar methods of intimidation they resorted to were not working. At this, they decided that a plot against our prophet would be a more effective method. This plan of the deniers is described in the Quran. When those who do not believe were plotting against you to imprison you, or kill you, or expel you, they were plotting, and God was plotting. But God is the best of plotters. The use of the word plot in this verse is particularly noteworthy. Instead of openly attacking the messenger of God, the deniers tried to stop him through a plot or conspiracy. This plot was intended to have the prophet imprisoned, killed, or exiled. However, as revealed in the verse, the deniers can never harm the messengers in any way. God appointed the messengers, and it is He who will protect them. And again, as revealed in the verse, it is those who plot against the messengers of God down the centuries who will be disappointed. Many verses in the Quran describe physical attacks on messengers. Just about all messengers were threatened with death, torture, or imprisonment by the leading circle of their people, and these threats were usually translated into physical attacks. They killed some of those who believed in God and His messenger in order to turn them from their path, and attempted to slay others. They imagined that by killing the messengers in particular, they could eliminate the religion of God and turn other believers away from the faith. There is no doubt that this shows they constituted a community that was incapable of proper reasoning, as is also revealed in the Quran. Our prophet was also exposed to such attempts by deniers during the course of his life. Idolaters frequently met together to barefacedly plan to kill the messenger of God. They eventually decided on a plan by Abu Jahl. Under that plan, a strong, reliable, and armed young member of each tribe would be chosen, and they would all attack the messenger of God together at the same time and try to kill him. They imagined that as a result the Prophet's family would be unable to deal with all the tribes of Quraysh, and that the Quraysh would pay them the relevant blood money. However, God did not permit the idolaters to carry out this plan of theirs. One night, when they had surrounded his house, our prophet and Abu Bakr abandoned Mecca and set out on the Hijra to Medina. As a miracle from God, the idolaters around his house failed to recognize him. When they realized what had happened, they set out after our blessed prophet and his companion. But thanks to God's mercy and protection, they failed to catch them or do them any harm. We are told in accounts that after the prophethood had been bestowed on him, the prophet's wife, Khadija, introduced him to her cousin, Waraka, a scholar from the people of the book. What Waraka said about the prophet is particularly noteworthy. Khadija then accompanied him to her cousin, who during the pre-Islamic period became a Christian and used to write the writing with Hebrew letters. He was an old man. God's apostle described whatever he had seen. Waraka said, "This is the same one who keeps the secrets whom God had sent to Moses. I wish I were young and could live up to the time when your people would turn you out. Anyone who came with something similar to what you have brought was treated with hostility." After a few days, Waraka died. The deniers imagined that they could exile the Prophet Muhammad and his companions from their homes and thus disperse, weaken, and eliminate them. But God reveals that those who forced the messengers from their homes are the ones who suffered the real devastation. How many cities we have destroyed, greater in strength than your city which has driven you out, and there was no one to help them. This is a law of God that applies in all ages. It is impossible for those who force people out of their homes because of their faith to remain in them for long. Our prophet and the believers with him later returned to Mecca, which they had been forced to abandon, and established a definitive victory over the deniers. Contrary to what the idolaters expected, the believers did not disperse and fall apart, but coalesced together and grew even stronger. This is highly important in showing that no alliance against believers can ever succeed.